Next on BBC Two, more hilarity. Oh, sorry, wrong page. It's Kelly Monteith.
I'm an old man, good to see you.
Lord Mitten, good evening, and Lady Mitten, as lovely as ever. Have you met Kelly Monteith?
Oh, how do you do?
How are you?
Ah, and this must be your lovely companion.
Oh,
No, we've never met.
no, but we should. I'm Kelly Monteith.
Sarah Wright.
Hi, Sarah.
That was, of course, Kelly Monteith, the American buffoon. Now, spinning right along, will you welcome Sir Lorenz Vanderpump?
Hated the speech. Loved the tie.
Hi again, I'm Kelly Monteith, and welcome to Kelly Monteith's BBC Memories, Episode 9. This cold opening here, you might recognize the actress. She plays my girlfriend through the entire Series 5 of the show. She's done quite well for herself over here. Her name is Lisa Vanderpump, and she played, as I said, my girlfriend. And that was our first meeting, which comes after this disastrous event that I have where I go up and speak in honor of this bird that's just about extinct, and I'm trying to do well with the environmentalists, and it's a disaster. I have a spinning tie, which is that goes back to another story. But anyway, I meet her backstage for the first time, and she does that little intro. The second time I meet her is at a, well, I'm not going to explain it. I'll let you see it. This is how I meet her the second time.
Morning.
Morning. Oh, no, not again. Why can't you be like other people and just throw your hangers away? Why'd you have to bring them all back to me?
Because this is where I got them in the first place.
You get a chicken from the butcher's, but you don't take the bones back.
You ever try to make a soup with these? I'll just put these in a regular place, all right? Oh, and I got some stuff to pick up.
Right. 2 pairs of trousers, 3 sweaters, 8 shirts, and 4 ties. That's £28.50.
Boy, that's a lot of money.
I've got high overheads. There's rent and lights, and hangers.
Well, how much would it cost if I picked these clothes up without hangers?
78p.
Oh, when I get taken to the cleaners, I get taken to the cleaners. All right. There you go.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot, huh? See you next time. Oh, God, I'm sorry.
No.
Oh.
My brand new sweater.
I'm sorry, miss. Hold on. Don't. Watch out. Oh, hi.
What?
I said hi. Hi. Don't you remember me? We met at that charity dinner last week, remember?
Oh, yes. I didn't recognize you without your revolving bow tie.
Oh, that.
How are you?
I'm fine. Sarah, right?
You remembered.
Remembered what?
My name.
What?
No, right.
Right what?
Not right what, just right.
What is this, me Habitu Costello?
My name is Sarah Wright. W-R-I-G-H-T.
All right, I got you now. Really, it's good to see you again. I'm sorry about your sweater. I feel terrible about that. Hey, why don't you let me make that up to you? Let me take you out to lunch.
I don't know. After seeing what you do with hangers, I dread to think what you could do with a knife and fork.
Well, I'll eat with my fingers. How's that?
I got a better idea. Why don't you give me your number and I'll call you?
Okay. Call me? No, you got this wrong. I'm supposed to call you.
Who says so?
God. Really? It's right there in the Old Testament. Didn't you ever read it? Moses, when he went out looking for the 10 Commandments, where do you think Mrs. Moses was? Sitting at home, playing mahjong, waiting for him to call. It's tradition. Man is a chaser, woman is a chaser.
Not this woman. And besides, I don't like to give my number to perfect strangers.
I'm not perfect.
That's one thing we can definitely agree on. Now, are you going to give me your number or not?
Well, all right. It's against my chauvinistic principles, but I'll do it. Hey, how do I know you're going to call me?
You don't. That's the fun of it.
There's a couple of interesting things about that. The hangers, you know, in America we have these wire hangers and they seem to proliferate in your closet. It's not the same in Britain, at least in 41 years ago. Hangers weren't that big of a deal. In fact, when I was on the set, the guy said, "Hey, can I have some of those hangers?" You'd get them at the dry cleaners, but they were these real thick wire hangers that didn't, they weren't as thin as ours. So it was a different kind of, for me to have all these hangers that drag to the dry cleaners was really not very British. The second thing is Lisa Vanderpump. She came in to audition for us, and she's a very smart woman, very gorgeous, very nice, a terrific woman. And she said, she looked at Neil and I and said, "You guys have written this, so you probably have an idea how you want it played." And we said, "Well, yeah, we do." And she went on to audition, and well, she had the part, hands down. And she was delightful to work with. And it doesn't surprise me at all that she had tremendous success here in the United States. The second little scene we have now is when we're in I don't know how many guys have been through this kind of situation with a woman, but when push comes to shove, you're kind of obligated to put out your own money, so to speak. And it's this little scene that she's got to go to a wedding, so she has to buy some wedding gifts for the couple.
Yes, just what they want. Don't you think they're lovely?
Oh, beautiful.
Damn! I've forgotten my checkbook. What am I going to do?
Charge it.
I don't have an account here.
Well, I'll drive you back to your place. You can pick up your checkbook.
That would take forever. I hate to ask you this, but, could you?
Pay? Oh, yeah. Sure. Hey, come on. Hey, no problem, no problem.
I'll pay you back as soon as we get home.
Oh, don't think anything about it. It's not gonna break me. 200 and, that's a 9.
9. This is so embarrassing.
Oh, don't be silly. It's all right. Just, plenty more where that came from.
My, what shaky handwriting. What are these funny lines here?
Stretch marks.
Well, I don't know how many guys have been through that kind of situation. I certainly have in my past, and was never reluctant to put out some money on a woman that I really cared for. Now, this next little scene, it kind of was inspired by, years ago, I knew a woman who was divorced from her husband, but they had a big business, a really good business that was going very, very well. And because somebody down the chain of supply went under, and it was like a domino effect. Everything else, all the other businesses went after that. So I kind of based this on that. And I'm going to my accountant about the money I'm spending, and I don't know, let me explain this. It's self-explanatory.
Did we or did we not have a discussion last Friday about your overdraft?
We did.
Did we or did we not agree to write no more checks?
You did.
Do you recognize this?
I do.
And this?
I do.
You know what this means.
I'm in deep doo-doo.
Precisely.
Look, I should get that check today.
Oh, not that mythical check again.
It's not mythical, I promise you I'll get that check today.
Mr. Monteith!
Oh, Mr. Bainbridge!
Mr. Bainbridge.
Mr. Salisbury!
Mr. Monteith, I'm Mr. Lawton.
Mr. Lawton.
Mr. Monteith!
Mr. Bainbridge, I was just about to call you.
About that check! Mr. Hemmel, I was just about to call you. About that check!
Mr. Bainbridge, this is Mr. Deckel. He's expecting a check from me, which I can't give him until I get a check from you.
Which I can't pay you until I get a check from him.
And I can't give you a check until I get a check from Mr. Truman.
Oh, Mr. Monteith, I was just about to call you.
About that check.
Mr. Truman, I'm Bainbridge.
Mr. Bainbridge.
This is Mr. Hemmel, Mr. Deckel.
Mr. Truman. Mr. Truman. Mr. Hemmel, Mr. Deckel.
Mr. Truman, Mr. Lawton. Mr. Truman?
Mr. Lawton.
Mr. Truman, I think I've waited long enough.
Mr. Monteith, I'll give you your check just as soon as I get mine from Dinko Enterprises.
Then you must be Video Classics, Inc.
Yes.
Oh, but I am Dinko Enterprises, and I shall give you your check when I get my check from Mr. Hemmel.
I'll pay you when I get my check from Mr. Bainbridge.
And I'll pay you when I get my check from Mr. Monteith.
And I'll pay you when I get my check from Mr. Truman.
And I'll pay you when I get my check from Mr. Deckel.
Speaking as a banker,
My first question is,
Where's the gents?
Please, Mr. Truman. A wise man pees when he can, a fool pees when he has to. And this is no time to be a fool.
Now, what we have here is a classic case of check constipation. Surely you gentlemen have other funds?
Not at this moment.
My money's tied up.
My assets are frozen.
My accounts are in arrears.
My principal's limp.
Couldn't you borrow?
I'm in debt up to my knees.
I'm in higher than that.
I depend on his check.
It's been a slow year.
My business fell off.
Perhaps a reduction in lifestyle.
I have 3 ex-wives.
No, I have 2 kids away at school.
I have a paternity suit.
I have an ex-wife and 2 lawyers.
I have a brother imprisoned under bladder infection.
Mr. Salisbury?
Mr. Lord? Oh, excellent.
Mr. Salisbury, I believe we found the solution. We're prepared to extend Mr. Monteith's overdraft by the amount of his rent.
Then he can pay me and I can pay Mr. Hemmel.
I can pay Mr. Dick.
I can pay Mr. Truman.
And I can pay Mr. Monteith.
And I can pay off some of my overdraft.
That's settled there. But I warn you, gentlemen, the bank does not look favorably upon these financial shenanigans. What would happen if countries behave like this?
Mr. Norton,
Yes, Ferguson?
it's Mexico on the line. They say you can have your check tomorrow as soon as they get their check from Peru. We're waiting for a check from Italy.
About that check. How many times have I heard that in my life? The interesting thing about that is it's very difficult when you have a group of actors doing a scene. I think, if memory serves, we did that in front of the audience. Sometimes we'll pre-tape stuff and put it in the context of the show in front of the audience, so it'll all flow in one good section. But this one, I think we did in front of the audience, and that's tough. You know, when you got all these different actors, you know, you got to do it like this. It's got to snap them off. Nobody can screw up, because then the whole thing collapses. But it was fun, and I think I'm pretty sure. I don't know how many people are familiar with Marilyn Van Zandt. Is that her name? In Parade magazine, when she's the brilliant woman that answers every question you send in. And there was something in that column about this kind of situation. So I sent her this little clip, and all I got was a nice little note. Oh, Marilyn saw your clip and enjoyed it. I don't know, anyway. But the next thing we do is the connection to the original scene with me and Lisa at when she's buying the wedding gifts, when I have to write the check for her. And nothing has come up yet about being reimbursed. So I'm trying to bring that up to her, and she kind of misconstrues about what I'm talking about. So check it out.
Why were you so nervous at the wedding?
I wasn't nervous.
You were sweating like a pig.
Look, with the price of pork today, that's a compliment. Besides, that church was like a steam bath. You know, speaking of weddings and marriage and everything, there's been something I've been wanting to ask you.
Yes?
I'm a little nervous about it.
Nervous about what?
Well, I don't quite know how to put it, really.
Well, it's not like you to be lost for words.
Well, would you... I mean...
Yes?
Could you...
Could I what?
Can you... I mean, could you... Will you...
Look, will you just please get to the point?
Will you... pay me for the china?
Okay, you know, I should have asked her to marry me. What was I thinking then, you know? But who knew how it was going to turn out and how her career would blossom over here. But hey, that's life. And she was a terrific actress to work with, and a really nice person. She and her husband, I knew her husband very well. They had a nice home in Nottingham, and been to a couple of parties there at her house, and she's doing very well over here. Anyway, thanks for tuning in to Kelly Monteith's BBC Memories, episode 9. Tune in next week for episode 10 with more of Lisa Vanderpump, and I think you'll enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed this one. We'll see you next week. Thank you very much.